Welcome back. Let's continue our conversation with Steph.
How do you handle certain types of conversations like that when folks walk into the museum? And have you seen a lot, or is this becoming more of a hot topic here at the sanctuary to talk about with guests and visitors?
Well, I think we're not your typical, obviously we're about shipwrecks, right? So we're not your typical zoo or aquarium that has those issues up front when people walk in. We are talking about shipwrecks. So we don't have those. It's not like somebody comes in wanting to ask us questions about climate change right off the bat. However, one really awesome and effective tool that we have is our Science on a Sphere, the big 6-foot theater and globe that we can portray data sets, portray images and films right on the sphere that is it's the Earth, and it's really powerful in showing what is happening on our planet. And that is where we have found it most effective to talk about the issues that our environment faces and how we can protect people from these very issues. And so another thing that I found that I was pleasantly surprised about is that the conversations turned, like after our training and after employing these programs in the Science on a Sphere Theater, the conversations all became very positive. And we didn't have a lot of negative ones before, but if it had been brought up before climate change, there may have been, some people saying, well, what causes it? Are doubting what causes it or arguing about what causes it. And when you change the conversation to not even addressing that and talking more about what we can do, it really became much more positive and much more productive. So I would say that the Science on a Sphere has been such an effective tool in communicating about climate change and really talking about the nitty-gritty of what individuals can do and also understanding what it's all about. I think that, I didn't fully understand the issues that we're facing caused by climate change until I did this communication training. So what an interesting way to go about it. I didn't have to go to, get my PhD in marine biology or climatology to understand these issues. So everybody can truly understand it.
And it sounds like folks can make a difference on their own. And that's just being a good steward of the environment, being a good steward of where we live and where our kids live and where our grandkids live and things like that.
For sure, being a good steward is very important, and there's so many ways you can do that, but also really understanding, where this is stemming from. I think it helps to understand, for example, here's just one example, the difference between regular carbon dioxide and what we call rampant carbon dioxide. So kids in 5th grade learn that carbon dioxide is a part of natural processes. Animals exhale carbon dioxide so the plants can grow and provide oxygen for those that breathe oxygen, and the planet needs that, of course. So regular carbon dioxide, a part of natural processes, but rampant carbon dioxide is the result of burning fossil fuels. It's as simple as that. So all the coal and natural gas that we're burning has really built up and created an effect very similar to like a heat-trapping blanket around the planet. And that heat builds and builds, and then you have a warming planet and definitely a warming ocean.
Now I know that this is obviously the focus here is shipwrecks. It's all about shipwrecks, but you employ a number of different ways of communicating climate change throughout the year, whether it be through film or film, lecture, different things of that sort. Why do you believe it's so important to have things like this for our community and for Northeast Michigan?
It is indeed important, and I think that being able to be part of a community that can sit and hear a program in the Science on a Sphere, or watch a film like Chasing Ice, for example. We're going to be showing that as part of our cinema series in February, or nearly all the films that the film festival shows. Being able to sit as a community and learn and watch these films and then discuss them, I think, is such an important part of the community coming together to understand the issues that the people are faced with, and the environment is faced with, and then talk about what they can do. And that, I'm very, very proud that the Heritage Center provides that space, really, to learn and then to discuss and then to go out into the community and act. So the film festival is definitely a great tool for that. Just sitting here in the theater, I mean, this has truly become a great space for learning and for action.
We definitely have a lot of political gridlock. Even in a small town, you see it more because, you know, some people want change, a lot of people don't want change. How do you affect a community that's constantly kind of going against the grain?
Right. Well, what I'd like to see and what I think is the result and can be the result of the communication techniques and the power of film, if you will, is that people are inspired to drive community level changes, such as, you know, transitioning to renewable energy instead of non-renewable energy, like wind and solar, and working hard to, you know, maybe even though we are a small community, we do have the trolley system, so depending on mass transit more than each individual driving their car. So the community level solutions are really what we need to focus on today.
With everything that's come out, with all of the data, you know, with all of these reports that have come out in the media and folks talking about it, do you think that conversation is going to begin to change, or do you think it's kind of stayed consistent the whole way through?
I think I've definitely seen a change. I've seen people more comfortable talking about climate change, more comfortable asking about it, and more people interested and really seeing that they need to be invested in doing something about it. So I actually am hopeful, and I see people banding together to protect their you know, fellow citizens from these issues that are facing our environment. So I have a lot of hope.
And that will wrap it up for our look into climate change. Be sure to tune in next Sunday to Insights into Northeast Michigan.
Insights into Northeast Michigan is produced by WBKB News. If you have any comments, suggestions, or topics you would like to see on a future show, please email WBKB News. This has been a production of Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation. All rights reserved.
The furniture and set design for this episode of Insights is provided by Young Appliance Art Van Furniture on US 23 South, Alpena.